issue I see with skills training centers and with just education in general, people will not get educated if they can't eat. You know what I mean? There's no way you can tell someone to go to school and he's hungry. It's very impossible. It's very hard. He needs to go and find money to eat first before he goes to school. You see? So to tell people that no, you must go to school, but you must go to school on an empty stomach. You must go to school without shoes. You must go to... No. It's very hard. You see? So you need to create an environment where this person, our youth especially, can get educated while at the same time they can go home with something. So if they can get educated from 6 hours, if we can create these trade centers in each ward, these youth can get educated from 6 hours to 9 hours in the morning. After 9 hours, when the day gets busy, till 17 hours, they'll be on the other side of the building working, trying to find cars, trying to make this, trying to do this, trying to fix this, trying to change tires, you see. So that way you create an environment of learning, but you also create an environment of working, you see. That's why even the STEM schools that the current administration introduced, there was a reason why they failed. And the reason was because people, yes, I can go there, I can get a qualification, even UNZA, even CBU, even UNILAS, I can go there and can get a degree. But what's the guarantee that I'll start working? What's the guarantee that I'll get a job? You see? There needs to be that sort of assurance that, okay, the skill that I'm learning, it's making money here, and I can see that it's making money. And in that way, the person who is, or the youth who are learning these skills, develop interest in these skills. You see? But if you're telling someone, no, just go and learn this skill, one day you'll make money. Just go and learn this skill, one day you'll make money. I can guarantee you within 6 months that person will give up. Because they're not seeing the results. You see? And that's the truth. That's the environment that we live in now. It's a fast-paced environment. It's an environment of internet. It's an environment of technology. We need to be able to make our youth leverage these skills, monetize things like social media. You know, I'm very happy with what happened with that comedian who won Hilux and Samani. You know what I mean? Yes, it is very good. Yes, Mateo, very good. But you see, if we can encourage avenues of creating revenue for the youth, then it's much easier to help with the unemployment problem. You see what I mean? That way, you as the government or you as the leader are not directly trying to help them find jobs, no. But you're providing the tools for them to be entrepreneurs, for them to have ambition, for them to look for something better.
And having said that, I think, you have the podcast, the Real Talk with Siapenga. There's Real Talk and Real Growth. So I'm sure the viewers right now are learning, sure. So let's have a different angle. I've looked at those issues, solutions, so to say. Now, how effective can community leaders measure their success? Because it's important also to factor in measuring of the projects, successes, failure, so to say, monitoring, evaluation. What effective ways can community leaders use?
Like I said, the measures that leaders can use to measure their success. I think if you're a leader for the people, and a leader who is willing to hear whatever the community is saying or the community wants, that way it will be very easy and it will be simple for you to measure the success in the community. Why, like I said earlier, because it becomes easy. People always be there to support you in whatever, because you involve them. You engage them in any developmental program. So they will rally behind you. So it becomes easy because if you engage people in the community, let's come together. whatever program you have for that community, bring them together. Let's discuss. How can we go about this? That way, the success will speak for itself. Your works will speak for you. Why? Because each and every individual in that community, they know to say, we have a leader who is willing to hear our prayers, a leader who is there for us whenever we need him. So any program, any developmental issues you have in that community, because we're engaging them, we're doing them, they will even taking care of those developmental issues or programs in that community. They will do that. Why? Because you are with them. So it will be very easy to measure the success if you are for the community. But stay away from the community, then it will be very difficult. Because whatever you want to do, the community will always stand against you. Bring them closer, then they will support whatever ideas, because you are involving them. So, engaging the community and not running away from them, because they may seem not to be wiser than you, because you are there. No, be the slave to them. Then everything will be okay.
To top it up, I think the communication tools, because we earlier mentioned that it's important for community leaders not to have effective communication when it comes to disseminating information pertaining to what is needed in different communities. Just to give context, like medical students, like you mentioned, the 6 words.
Yes.
Having said that, I think one of the easiest ways, just to top it up from what you're saying, what I've been talking about, community leaders should continuously engage community members through social media platforms. And also their social media platforms should not be too one-sided. It should be for the people. We should save, like I mentioned, the slaves. So to say, they save the people. So in a way, they become slaves, not thinking about themselves first, but the majority of, let's put it, the community at large. So utilizing the social media platform, I think, is one tool that community leaders should utilize, because many people are on social media. So if you channel their attention to participating in community projects, many people will engage more, will be active to support ideas which want to be implemented. They just put it like that, which want to be implemented. And then they'll vote which projects are urgent. And then for that again, the disseminating of information is even made easier because people have access to the right information. Because we shouldn't have this situation not by leader, like we mentioned earlier, when the leader is somewhere very far, but people in the community are suffering, and that person just comes with the ideas, no, guys want to have this man is want to do this, but you have to engage with the community. So it's important that community leaders have an active social media presence, be it especially Facebook. They use that not to brag or to show off that I'm somebody. No, we shouldn't support that approach, because that's not development at the end of the day. That's self-bragging, which is against the essence of you being voted in. So I think utilizing social media platforms like Facebook is important. And having said that, I want you to briefly tackle any other areas which we haven't looked at, because I'm seeing notebook here. We'll give you chance, because notebook is utilized. Mm-hmm. So giving you this platform also on our Facebook page. Finish up those manuals. So over to you.
Okay. So yeah, notebook here. Yanyamula Bambi. in the sense that because my community we face a lot of problems, right? We vote for a leader, then a leader decides to teach us at a time. And somewhere, whatever is happening by the background, Saziba, then there are people in the same community who are siding with the same leader because they get something by the end of the day. So they will blindfold him by telling him that all is well. You see? And it's just a number of individuals that are praising you to say everything is fine. But go down there, that's where you find a lot of issues. For me, I'll just give an example. If I'm to become a leader at some point whereby I should work for a certain community or maybe the whole constituency, I think the things that I can be doing is to work with the grassroots, because that's where issues starts from. That's where your work starts from. Because being there on the grassroots, you won't face any problems. You won't face any challenges. Why? Because you are always there with the people. They are seeing you. Overvuta vintu, they will back you up. Why? Because you are always there. Bakuona. So, Nankala boss, because they voted for me. Nizaos. No time will come. There's always time for everything. Because they voted for you, they gave you power for a certain period of time. And what happens is that that same term of yours comes to an end. You still need the same people to come and direct you. But if I'm not engaging them, how would I even go back? Because for me, I will even feel that shame of going back, because how do I begin to face those people in the community? It will be very difficult. So I would be using the same people who are praising me to say, guys, help me to convince these people. But already the ground is destroyed. And they are not willing to listen to you. You bring whatever you want to bring to them, they will get, yes. But come that day, they will show you the other side of it. So before we come to that, let's be leaders who are willing to work for the people, to work with the people, to eat with the people. By so doing, they will feel comfortable to be with you. They will be the ones to speak for you. A leader must understand. You must have your own style of doing things, like you said earlier. Not copying from someone. Understand whatever you are doing. You need to have a vision. You set a vision. What do I want? What do I want to achieve in this community? Then you share that vision with the community. Once you share it, then they support that vision. Then you move with the vision. You won't have any problems. You won't have any challenges. It will be walk over for you. Because you're always there with them. Thank you.
And at this particular time, I think I can give Mr. Dodia to do a summary of what we've been discussing, so that the viewers get satisfied of it being our last episode.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's very important, the topic that we've been discussing. I think, especially for the viewers, to understand how the community's needs can be met and what needs will actually be met. Because, like our guest has said, there's a lot of things that happen in theory. But when it comes to what's happening at the grassroots, on the ground, in terms of implementation, it's different, you know. So to sum up everything that we've discussed, the most important thing, I believe, is to first get the information about your constituency, about your community, about your wards, do your census, find the number of youth that are unemployed, find the number of women that are unemployed, find the number of men that are unemployed. You need to have all this information at hand. There are over 100,000 residents in Mulani now, maybe even more. We could be 150, 200,000 now because Kalikiliki and Tendera is just bloomed out of nowhere. You see, but there are almost 20, 30,000 residents. You see, in those areas. And this is a place with unplanned settlements. There's flooding. There's what? There's this. So these are things that we need to deal with individually. And I like this constituency because it's so unique geographically. Munali is one of the biggest constituencies here in Lusaka. So it's I think even in any province in Zambia in terms of densely populated. And I think it's important that it has a very unique mix of people. You see, there are people who are on one end of the spectrum, and there are people who are in the middle, and then there are people who are on the other end of the spectrum. You have the super rich and you have the super poor living in the same constituency. Well, it shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? It should be a situation where we should be able to create communities where this whole spectrum can mesh and work together, so that one is feeding the other and the other is feeding the other one. The poorer communities are feeding the higher ones with skills and development, and the higher communities are feeding the poorer communities with financial aid. You see what I mean? Because that's the way any system works. There's no community that can come to a complete standstill. It's impossible. You see, it's like when I think of these things, I think of them like living organisms. You see, when you have bad leadership, your communities get sick. You see, they get sick because you're not putting the effort into looking after them. So all the time they're sick, they're sick, they're sick, they're sick. When you have a good leader, the communities are well. They're better. They can run around. They can play in the sun. Why? Because that leader is taking care of it. Is making sure every time he's checking on it, like a child.
Yes.
You see, that's exactly how a leader should look at his people. You are there in service. You are there to serve, but these are also like your children. At all costs, you must make sure that you must protect your community first. You see, so whatever. It doesn't mean that whatever Matero is doing here in Munali I should do. No. Matero has its own set of problems. The policies I implement in Munali will be completely different. You see? In the ones that I'll have in Matero and the ones that I'll have in Lusaka Central. They'll be different. You see? So this is where just to sum up everything, number one, I think is communication. Most importantly, communicate with your communities, find out what's actually happening on the ground. Number two, there should be this sense of devotion. You see, it's like when you have a car. People can tell when you look after your car.
Yes.
You see, people can tell when you don't look after your car. There's funny noises. It's smoking. It's what. Oh, the tire is flat. Then the one who is just smooth, you can tell this guy. You see, so there needs to be that devotion, that care, that constant care to your community. And number three, just proper planning. We shouldn't have these things on theory and on paper and replicating because we saw it there, because we saw it here, now it can work here. No. We should look at our community and say, look, this is the nature of Munali. All Munali is on a hilly area, so we should build reservoirs. There's no sense in you can't build a borehole for everyone. I said that in our last episode. You can't. And we don't know what we're doing to the water table. How do we know? Maybe we're damaging the water table. If we're going to drill a borehole every 10 meters, there'll be a borehole. The easier logic would be to build a reservoir, like the one they have in Mutumbi, like the one they have in Salama Park. You build massive reservoirs, and then you have water. You see? So those are practical solutions, but those are also solutions that think way ahead into the future. You see what I mean? So I think, finally, it's also just to make sure as a leader you must be able to look ahead, you see. Yes, you must look at the problems now, but you should also be able to plan 10, 15, 20 years into the future. Thank you.
And also to top it up, also transparency and also honesty. I think these issues, like Mr. N mentioned, when the leader becomes supported to power, they become puppets. They forget that they have to serve the people. So being transparent and also the honest arrangement improves someone's integrity. Like we have been having this powerful discussion in previous episodes. So there, a leader, once a leader, he or she has integrity, even that person can be voted in to power next time. So just to add on to the points which Mr. Dodia has mentioned. Okay. And having said that, this has been a very powerful discussion, and looking at it being our last episode.
Yeah, for sure.
We have powerfully, for the first time we've gone beyond. We've even had some few activities. I wanted to also leave a bit because I'm excited because of it being our last episode.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think this has been a very powerful discussion, and our age for the viewers, especially where Mr. Amy comes from, to find leaders like him. You can find social media pages where they can learn more, so that at the end of the day they get the right information. And you say jinxing that, but what cancer? What cancer in that way? Because what you have been discussing here, these are issues which are affecting people. And people need someone who's related to what they're going through. So in aging, one day, one or two. And then to the viewers who are from Kalingalinga, follow such people. And also engage more in community development issues. Don't just be left out to say, if I follow that one, was that a cyber act? And if I say something, was any man there? And issues which affected me, bring them out, and then from there the discussions, having also community leaders who are practical. My solution is slowly but surely in their days, not come up and lead it. Having said this, that this has been a new topic CNH, and today we had special guest, Mr. Henry. Yes, in my mind sometimes international of Dharma, yes. Was that I forgive. Mr. Siapenga also did a very powerful contribution to this topic at time, and also my brother from another mother, Mr. Dodia there, this being our last episode for this series. Mm-hmm. And we just said Mr. Siapenga to come back so that we engage further in different topics which I think are very important for the people out there to learn more. Because at the end of the day, teaching people is the most important thing to do. As people are talking about development issues. So have a blessed weekend, and join us for the next season, which is going to be very powerful. You won't say the thing, just send it to me. Have a blessed day.